stop waiting, because the life you keep imagining will never show up at your door like a delivery package. It doesn't work like that. You've been sitting there telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I just need the right time, or maybe when things get easier. But listen carefully, easy is not coming, and perfect timing is a myth. The truth is, the people who are living the life you want didn't wait for conditions to line up. They made a decision and moved anyway. That's the difference. They got tired of excuses, tired of being average, tired of watching life pass them by, and they said, enough is enough. If you want to create a life you actually want to live, you've got to adopt that same mindset. You have to wake up every single day with urgency, with purpose, with a fire that says, I refuse to stay where I am. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, you're building your life with every action you take, or every action you avoid. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing a smaller life. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up and working on your goals, you're reinforcing the same patterns that keep you stuck. And here's the hard truth: you don't need more time, you need more discipline. You don't need another opportunity, you need to take advantage of the ones already in front of you. Stop looking around for someone to push you, to motivate you, to believe in you. That responsibility is yours. Nobody is going to care about your life more than you do, and if you're not giving it everything you've got, then why should anyone else? The life you want requires effort when you don't feel like it, consistency when you're tired, and focus when distractions are everywhere. It requires you to sacrifice things that feel good now for something greater later. That might mean saying no to people, cutting off habits, or stepping out of your comfort zone so far that it scares you. But that's where real change happens. Growth doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from doing what's necessary. So instead of waiting for motivation, build routines. Instead of hoping things will change, take action. Start small if you have to, but start now. Because momentum is built through movement, not overthinking. And once you get moving, once you start proving to yourself that you can show up even when it's hard, everything begins to shift. Your confidence grows, your vision becomes clearer, and that life you once thought was impossible starts to feel within reach. But it all begins with a decision, a real decision, not just words, that you're done waiting, done hesitating, done settling. You have to decide that your future is worth the discomfort, worth the struggle, worth the grind. Because at the end of the day, creating a life you want to live isn't about luck, and it's not about talent. It's about ownership. It's about looking at your life as it is right now and saying, this is on me and I have the power to change it, so stop waiting for someday. Stop delaying your greatness. The moment you take responsibility and start building, that's the moment your life starts changing. Get obsessed with growth because the life you want demands a version of you that you haven't become yet. You can't stay the same and expect everything around you to change. That's not how transformation works. If you're serious about creating a life you actually want to live, then you've got to commit to evolving every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Growth is not comfortable, and it's definitely not easy. It will challenge your beliefs, expose your weaknesses, and force you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But that's exactly why most people avoid it. And exactly why you can't. You've got to lean into that discomfort and understand that it's not there to break you, it's there to build you. Every time you push past what feels safe, you expand what's possible for your life. That's how you level up. You don't grow by doing what you already know. You grow by stepping into what you don't. So read the books that challenge your thinking. Learn the skills that increase your value. Surround yourself with people who demand more from you instead of those who make you feel comfortable staying the same. And most importantly, start holding yourself to a higher standard. Stop making excuses for why you're not where you want to be and start asking better questions like, what do I need to learn? And who do I need to become? Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with growth, and there are no shortcuts across that gap. You've got to earn your way through it. That means being willing to fail, and not just once, but over and over again. Failure is not a sign that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're trying to grow. Every mistake carries a lesson, and every lesson brings you one step closer to mastery if you're willing to learn from it. Too many people quit the moment things get hard, but you can't afford to do that. If you quit when it's difficult, you'll never experience what it feels like to break through to the next level. Growth requires persistence. It requires showing up even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when progress feels slow, because the truth is, growth is not always visible in the moment. Sometimes it feels like you're putting in effort and getting nothing in return, but behind the scenes you're building strength, discipline, and resilience. And those are the qualities that will carry you when talent and motivation fall short. You've also got to be honest with yourself about your current habits and mindset. If you're constantly feeding yourself negativity, comparing your journey to others, or doubting your ability to succeed, then you're sabotaging your own growth. You can't build a powerful life with a weak mindset. You've got to train your mind just like you train your body through repetition, focus, and intentional effort. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Speak yourself with confidence, not criticism, and take responsibility for your progress. Nobody can grow for you. Nobody can put in the work on your behalf. This is your journey, and it's up to you. Take it seriously. When you truly become obsessed with growth, everything changes. You stop fearing challenges and start seeking them. You stop avoiding hard work and start embracing it. You stop settling for average and start striving for excellence. And that's when you begin to create a life that not only looks different, but feels different. A life where you're not just existing, but evolving, expanding, and stepping into your full potential every single day. Cut off what's holding you back, because you cannot build a powerful, fulfilling life while dragging dead weight behind you. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are if your environment, your habits, and your mindset are working against you every single day. You've got to be honest with yourself and not surface level. Honest, real, uncomfortable honesty. Look at your life right now and ask, what is feeding my growth and what is draining my energy? Because everything falls into one of those two categories. People you talk to daily, the content you consume, the habits you repeat, even the thoughts you entertain. They are either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. There is no neutral, and if you're serious about creating a life you actually want to live, then you've got to make some tough decisions. You can't keep entertaining distractions and expect to stay focused. You can't keep surrounding yourself with negativity and expect to stay positive. You can't keep holding on to comfort and expect to grow. Something has to give, and most of the time it's the things you've gotten used to that are quietly keeping you stuck. That might be a circle of friends who don't challenge you, who laugh at your goals, or who are comfortable staying exactly where they are. It might be habits that feel good in the moment, scrolling endlessly, procrastinating, avoiding responsibility, but are costing you your future. It might even be your own internal voice constantly telling you that you're not ready, not capable, not good enough. That voice has to be silenced because it's not telling you the truth. It's telling you what's easy, and easy doesn't build greatness. You've got to develop the discipline to say no to people, to distractions, to anything that doesn't align with the life you're trying to create. That's not being rude, that's being focused. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going, and not everything in your life is meant to stay. Growth requires separation. It requires you to let go of what's familiar so you can step into what's possible. And Yes, that can feel lonely at times. It can feel uncomfortable, even painful, but understand this. Temporary discomfort is the price of long-term elevation. You're not losing anything of real value. You're making space for something better, something stronger, something aligned with the person you're becoming. You've also got to protect your energy like it's your most valuable resource, because it is. Where your energy goes, your life follows. If you're constantly giving your time and attention to things that don't matter, you're draining the very fuel you need to build your future. So be intentional, be selective, guard your time, your focus, and your mindset with everything you've got. Replace bad habits with productive ones. Replace negative influences with positive ones. Replace doubt with action, because at the end of the day, the quality of your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. And if you keep tolerating things that hold you back, you will stay exactly where you are. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you decide that average is no longer acceptable, everything begins to shift. You start making decisions that align with your goals. You start creating an environment that supports your growth. You start becoming someone who is not easily distracted, not easily discouraged, and not easily stopped. And that's when your life begins to change, not because things got easier, but because you got stronger, clearer, and more committed than ever before. Execute relentlessly, because at the end of the day, ideas don't change. Your life action does. You can have the biggest dreams, the clearest vision, and all the right intentions, but if you're not consistently putting in the work, nothing moves, period. This is where most people fall off. They get excited, they plan, they talk about what they're going to do, but when it's time to show up every single day and grind, they hesitate. They wait until they feel ready, until they feel motivated, until everything feels perfect. But listen, execution doesn't care about your feelings. The people who create the life they want are not the ones who feel good all the time. They're the ones who show up regardless of how they feel. They've trained themselves to move with discipline, not emotion, and that's the level you've got to reach. You've got to become someone who takes action even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when no one is watching, because real success is built in those quiet moments when it's just you and your commitment. You say you want a better life, but are your daily actions proving it? Are you waking up with purpose, or are you hitting snooze and delaying your own progress? Are you putting in focused work, or are you getting lost in distractions? Because every single day you're either getting closer to your goals or drifting further away. And it all comes down to execution. You don't need to do everything at once, but you do need to do something consistently. Small actions repeated daily create massive results over time. That's how momentum works. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. And when you commit to execution, you stop overthinking and start producing. You stop doubting and start doing. You stop waiting and start winning, because you're actually putting in work required to move forward. Now, let's be clear, this path is not easy. There will be days when you're tired, days when things don't go your way, days when it feels like all your effort isn't paying off. That's when execution matters most. That's when you separate yourself from everyone who quits. Because anyone can work when it's easy, but only a few can keep going when it's hard. That's where resilience is built. That's where character is formed. And that's where real progress happens. You've got to develop a mindset that refuses to back down, that doesn't negotiate with excuses, that doesn't settle for good enough. You've got to hold yourself accountable even when nobody else is, especially when nobody else is, because this is your life and nobody is going to live it for you. Nobody is going to put in the work for you. If you want results, you've got to earn them, day by day, action by action, decision by decision, and the more you execute, the more confident you become, the more disciplined you become, the more unstoppable you become. Eventually, it stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity. You become the kind of person who follows through, who finishes what they start, who doesn't quit when things get tough. And that's when everything changes, not overnight, not instantly, but steadily, powerfully, undeniably. So stop waiting for Perfect plan. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for motivation. You already have everything you need to begin. Take the first step, then the next, then the next. Stay consistent. Stay focused. Stay hungry. Because execution is the bridge between where you are and the life you're trying to create. And the only way across that bridge is to keep moving forward no matter what.